beginning, we should say
Shall I?
hello, good day, our listeners and watchers. Uh, we want to prepare to give some dialogues and conversation about
Yeah.
planets and astrology. What will you say, Israel?
We're here, the wonderful world of astrology. Yeah, we just it's this is like a dialogue, an astrological dialogue. As you guys who are watching this, if you're new to this, we are astrologers. But for those of you who know us, you know what we do, and we just want to create a dialogue to shed perhaps like a bit of light or further understanding or different perspectives also as well, perhaps on like the planets or whether it's the planets, the signs, but various parts of astrology. But we probably will be starting with the planets because in most schools when they tend to teach astrology, they tend to start with the planets, not all the time, but at some point you get around to learning about the planets anyway. So yeah,
We
me and
both,
Betsalel, yeah.
yes, we both studied astrology and we have
Yes.
spoken together many times. We have
Yes.
researched and explored different charts,
Yes.
horoscopes. So we now want to share this knowledge with
Definitely.
our listeners. So let's start from the main planet, the sun.
Yes.
In just scientific astronomy, they don't call it planet because it's the
It's a
star.
star, right?
But
Yes.
in astrology, it's still one of the planets, since we live on Earth and we see the sky surround us.
Yes.
So, how would you describe or explain the significance and role of the sun in astrology and in the chart of some person?
The sun has a very big significance in the chart, probably the most significant. And the reason why I say that is because the sun, as we know, as you quite put it, it's a star. Although we do in astrology refer to it as a planet, I think that more comes from a kind of simplicity kind of thing. Every astrologer knows that it's a star, and one of the reasons why we refer to it as the luminaries because it provides light for us here on Earth. It gives us light, it gives us heat, warmth, and it also charts the timing of the day for us also as well. So the sun for us is the center of our solar system. All of the planets are orbiting the sun. So I think this tells us a lot about the sun. The sun really is what is central for all of us. So when we're talking about the sun being in a particular sign, whether it's Gemini, Aries, Virgo, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, whatever the sun sign, that the nature of that zodiac sign is something which is core to us, which is central for us. It will have a particular, also, of course, characteristic, but it's something which we strongly identify with. So the sun sign is what we identify with most, we could say, on many levels. It's our identity. If we're saying we identify with something, it's also something that's a part of our identity also as well.
Yes, it's
So
because
yeah,
because it's central
yeah,
in our system. And by the way, I want to add that ancient astrologers who thought that Earth stands in the center, they still were ascribing to the sun this central role
yes,
because it was in the middle of the spheres. There
yes,
were three planets above it,
yes.
Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn,
Saturn
three planets below, Venus, Mercury, and
and
Moon.
Moon, right? That's right. Yes,
About ancient astrology.
yes,
So, despite they imagined and described the solar system differently, not like
mhm,
us, but they
yes.
still saw this central position of the
For
sun.
the sun, that's right. Yes,
That's why they called even then sun like the king of planets,
that's
the
right.
king of, and we now know that this royal position, being like king, is because really all the planets go surrounding the
The sun, exactly.
on the
Yes,
sun. Yes.
yes, yeah,
So if we, like astrologers and occultists, we see a human being like the mirror of the universe, some
Yes.
reflection
Yes.
model of the universe, we might say that this sun is in the center core of us, of human nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why, like you said, the sun is the most significant, the most important
Yes.
planet or luminary in astrological science.
Yes, most definitely. And it's also, even from a somewhat, even if we just pull a little bit of scientific sort of like information to it as well, because it's said that the sun has a heavy gravitational pull in terms of how the planets are orbiting around the sun. So it happens to have, it happens to be able to attract in some kind of way. There is something quite magnetic
Yes.
about the sun, and I feel that also transfers also into the interpretation of the sun in the chart also as well, where it shows maybe things that we have some kind of magnetic energy too, depending which zodiac sign, of course, it's in. You know, it can be telling us maybe the way in how we perhaps maybe attract things, or we are magnetic, or we pull things, experiences, circumstances, maybe perhaps how we pull that towards us. So yeah, that's also something, a part of the sun that I feel
Yes, and in
is.
astrology, every planet has its house or it's some sign which is much in some affinity with it.
Yes.
So for Sun, this sign is Leo or
Yes.
Lion.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
I wanted to discuss with you why Moon and Sun have only one sign and
Yes.
other planets have two signs. Do you know some explanation for this?
Yeah, well, according to the ancient astrologers, in terms of how they saw it, they saw the sun and moon as the king and queen.
Mhm,
Sort of like it was like likened to royalty in a sense,
mhm.
and so they saw the king and queen as being the emblem. So they have one sign each, because they're not. They're not going to be, if you want to say, subscribed to zodiac signs like the other planets, because they only have one sign delegated to them to show their radiance, to show their brilliance in some kind of way. Also, as well, I know as well from the Thema Mundi, which is the chart of the world, which in the Hellenistic school of thought, they saw that from the longest day of the year, which was at the summer solstice, which was approximately around the 21st of June. This is when the sun moved into the sign of Cancer, which was ruled by the moon. So then the next sign along was Leo. So you have Cancer, Leo. So the first two zodiac signs were given again to, from that point of the summer solstice, from the longest day, were given to again the king and the queen, or the queen and the king, whichever way you want to put it. But they were given to the moon, so the moon took Cancer, and then the sun took Leo, being a masculine sign. Cancer being a feminine sign was given to, of course, the moon, the mother. The lion was given to the sun, of course. So there is some kind of cosmology also around it, also as well, as to why it is that the moon has one sign and the sun has one, while the others are delegated to.
Yes, if our listeners don't really know about those relations between planets and signs, we just invite them to see and listen those things about to study a little bit
Yes, yeah,
astrology.
definitely.
My theory is I'm not sure really that all astrologers will share the same view, but my theory is that this fact that Sun and Moon have only one sign
Yeah,
is connected somehow to the fact that they can't be retrograde, but
yeah,
other planets can.
yeah.
So when, for example, Mercury goes directly, it's one influence. When it goes in the retrograde motion, it's another energy,
Influence. Yeah, yeah.
another influence.
Yeah.
So one of those energies or influences may be connected to Gemini as the first house of Mercury, and
Mhm.
another to Virgo as the
Well,
second.
right.
second house. So if we shall see this in this way, Mercury has two energies, two different
Kind
qualities,
of
let's say,
right.
which are reflected in those two signs,
Yeah.
Gemini and Virgo, which are the houses of Mercury.
Hmm.
And the same is right regarding Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, but not Sun and Moon, since they are never.
They're not retrograde. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever found such explanation, like I said in some astrology books, maybe?
I've heard the explanation with the correlation with Mercury being ruling of course Gemini and Virgo, and when Mercury is moving direct, it's more of a Gemini kind of energy, as
Mhm.
opposed to when he's moving retrograde, it has a kind of Virgoan kind of energy to it. So I have heard that, but not in relation to the sun and moon having only one sign. So yes.
Well, but if you have heard this about Mercury, it really approves what I say. So the
Yeah.
conclusion
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
it,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
leads
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
leads to the simple conclusion about Sun and Moon, since
Oh,
they
yeah.
have.
Definitely. Yeah. No. No. Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
So next time when we shall speak about Moon, we shall say maybe something similar about it, since
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
from our position on the Earth, we shall never see Moon going retrograde
Yeah, definitely
or
not. No.
Sun.
Yeah, yeah. We do see
Uh,
them slow down,
yeah.
but which is different, and that's more actually with relation of the Earth's energy to be precise anyway. But we do see them slow down or speed up at certain times
Yes,
of the month
especially
or
Moon.
times of the year. Yeah,
Especially Moon, because Moon
yeah,
really
yeah. It moves very quick. Yes.
the Moon can change its speed, but Sun not so much. This
Yeah,
slowing,
the sun as well, but it does happen. It does
yes, but
happen. Yeah.
it's just a little change of speed. Mostly
Yeah.
it goes with the same speed. So from here we can say that Sun maybe is the most predictable of the planets.
Yeah,
In
most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah,
For
yeah,
example, if I know where my sun is in my birth chart, I can even without calculations, I can say where it will be in progression, for example, in 30 years, in
yeah,
60
yeah,
years,
yeah, yeah,
because it doesn't need much calculation.
yeah.
It goes with the same
It will
speed.
say same speed. Yeah, yeah.
So,
It can, depending. I mean, like you say, sometimes you do find with progression, sometimes, or depending which sign, it's moving just a little bit quicker, maybe a quarter of a degree or something.
yes.
It's not really noticeable, but for if you for somebody maybe working with precision, then they will notice that okay, it's a bit. It's one of the reasons why in the solar return we often find that the sun is not always on the day of the birthday. Sometimes it's the day before, or sometimes the day after, even sometimes. But within those 3 days, it's not,
Yes, and then the
precise.
different techniques of astrological predictions or prognosis, they have different approach regarding this movement of the sun. You know that
Exactly. Yes.
sometimes they take 1 degree as 1 year, sometimes they take
Yes.
1 day as 1 year,
That's
because
correct.
it's not exactly the same. It's very close one
Yes.
to another.
Well, yeah, that's right. Yes.
Because somebody takes some intermediate value of 50 and something minutes of
That's
degree.
right. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So maybe this movement of the sun is something which is in the base of different astrological techniques of
Yeah.
prediction of movement of all the chart, all the
Yeah.
planets in some symbolic way.
Yeah, most definitely. Because the thing is, I think with us as human beings generally, we like to work with a nice, neat number.
Mhm,
So there is that saying, well, it's not the same, but we say like, the sun moves a degree a day.
mhm.
But it's not actually a degree a day. It's 58 minutes or 59 minutes. So that time sometimes will catch on, or it will be pulled back in some kind of a way. So, but yeah, I mean, astrologers have always, if you want to say, battled with this idea of, is it actually at this degree, or is it just beneath, or is it just above? So I think that's something that we're always going to wrestle with, but we have a pretty much a good approximate, and that's good enough.
Yes, let's remind those signs which are important for the sun. One of them we have said already is Leo,
Leo,
the
and the
lion.
other one is Aries.
Yes, the Aries is also very important sign
Yes,
for the sun. So,
yes,
if in your chart, for example, your sun stays in Leo or Aries, this is an advantage in your
yes,
life.
yes, yeah,
It gives you
definitely.
more energy.
Yeah, the sun has more. It's more dynamic, more energetic. It's in a sign that is more in line with the nature of the sun in terms of what the sun is about. And like we say, the sun is it's radiant, it's warmth, it's heat, it's
Yes.
light, it's illumination. So and so Leo and Aries, one what they have in common is that they are both fire signs. So
That's what I wanted to ask
yeah,
because there is some idea behind this that maybe fiery signs are better for the sun. And if
yeah.
so, maybe Sagittarius as well has some strengths, despite
Well,
we don't see this in astrological books, but still maybe there is some
well,
explanation.
we do see it in the traditional. It's part of the triplicity. So every planet is part of a triplicity in terms of elements which it is connected to. So the triplicity we have the triplicity meaning the three signs of each of the elements. So we have three fire signs, three water, three earth. So for the fire triplicity, the first planet, which is the sun. It's Sun, Jupiter, and Saturn. So we do see it. It's just not as popular or not as commonly well known, but it actually is actually better in the fire signs for sure. But we people tend to just focus more on the rulership in Leo or the exaltation in things. So in Sagittarius, it's not exalted or in rulership, but it's in its triplicity. So the sun does love it in Sagittarius as well.
So just to recapitulate, the lion is the strongest out of
Yes,
three fire signs. We have
yes,
three fire signs,
yes.
Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. If
Correct.
you have sun in one of them, you have an advantage out of this. Your energy
Most
will be
definitely.
more than
Yes,
than in other signs.
yes,
So
yes,
the lion is the strongest.
yes,
Aries is the second of the
yes,
strengths, and
yes.
Sagittarius is the weakest out of three, but
That's
still
right.
it gives some advantage.
Yeah,
So,
because it's one of the ways to also see why Sagittarius is the weakest also as well is because Sagittarius is the coldest part of the year out
yeah,
of all three of the zodiac signs. During the summer, in the month of Leo is when the sun is at its strongest, when it's hot. Spring, it's beginning because it's the start, it's the initiating, it's bringing the light in. So, but Sagittarius being the weakest, so one could also see it from that perspective also as well as to why, because Sagittarius is at the end of the autumn period for us in the northern hemisphere. So we can start to see also as well why it's not so strong also in that sign as well. But it's still relatively good. It can still express itself because the nature of that zodiac sign to the nature of the sun.
but to say that sun is connected to fiery signs is very natural because sun is
Yes.
warm and shining. But
Hmm.
the idea that the opposite signs, which are airy in their nature, are bad places for the sun, it's not so easy to understand why air signs like Aquarius
Of
or
course.
Libra will be so negative for the sun presence.
Yes.
Do you
Uh,
have some explanation what's the conflict between energies of sun and
yes. Well, it's more to do with well, there's various ways of approaching it. It's to do with the times of the year, right? It's to do with light and dark. So the ancients approach things based on light and dark. So we notice that the sun is stronger in the signs during the times of the year when there is more light, as opposed to when we have longer nights or we're going into dark. So Libra or the autumn equinox, which starts approximately around about September the 21st, is when the sun is going into there. So from there, because from that point is where the nights start to get longer. So it starts to go into darkness, right? And it then is in fall in the sign of Libra because it's exalted, the opposite sign, Aries, so it's exalted in the opposite sign. Now we now can also see the relation because in that sign of Libra is where Saturn, where he rejoices, because again
Mhm.
it's the welcoming of the dark periods, right? So the sun is declining in its strength, even though we see a few months later in Sagittarius, it's still a bit better there, but nevertheless, it's better because Sagittarius is a fire sign, not so much because of the time of the year. So we start to see that. So Aquarius we see is the middle of the winter, right? It's it comes to us at a time in the northern hemisphere. It's in the middle of the winter, so it's with the furthest place from where it rules Leo. The opposite is now Aquarius. So this is where also it gets to be dim there. It's yes, it's air. Air, it's not so much about the air quality per se, but more of the time of the year in terms of where it fits, and it's more to do with light and darkness, and that's what
But it
it's.
doesn't explain why, for example, Capricorn is some neutral sign, not bad and not good for the sun, since it really is placed in the middle of the winter.
Yeah,
It
but
must.
the middle of the Capricorn is the beginning of the winter. Aquarius is the middle. So the first sign of winter is Capricorn, and then Aquarius is the middle, and Pisces is the end.
All right,
So
but still Capricorn must be rather bad for
well, it's
sign.
not good. The sun doesn't have any dignity there. It doesn't have any dignity at all whatsoever, not by triplicity, not by, it's not, if you want to say, uh, I wouldn't use the word bad, but it's like it has no dignity there. The sun in Capricorn actually is peregrine. It's peregrine there. According to the ancients, it's peregrine, meaning it has no dignity whatsoever. So it has no dignity either in Aquarius as well. It's in detriment, but it's in its opposite sign. So it's away from home. Its home is Libra, so the opposite is away from home. But a lot of it is to do with night and dark. The ancients paid very great attention to that and saw that planets with this night and dark, especially with the luminaries, had a very, very a big thing. And the same, you also find it also with the moon also as well.
I will
Um,
add to this also the explanation based on the qualities of the elements, because I see that it comes out that those airy elements are worse anyway than
mm,
Capricorn or Scorpio, for example. So I think maybe the problem is, or even not the problem, but some dissonance
mhm.
between the energies of Sun
Yeah.
and those airy signs is that Sun is very imperative in its influence.
Mhm.
It's pushing you forward. It's
Yes.
all the time demanding some energy to be expressed, to be
Yeah.
fulfilled, realized. And airy signs, maybe they are more liberated and free, and
Mhm.
don't go aligned with this imperative movement. I now try to explain it through the personal qualities of people, not just from
Yeah.
some mythological or astronomic point of view.
Mhm.
So I think this is the difference between fire and air, and in how we humans really realize it in ourselves.
Mhm.
That fire, they both are accounted as warm elements, is male elements in
Mhm.
comparison to female water and earth.
Mhm.
But still there is difference that fire is more imperative and pushing forward.
Yeah.
And and air is more enjoying the freedom, enjoying some empty space, let's say, where you can
Yeah.
spread your energy.
That's a very interesting take on it for sure. But also as well, another reason why it wouldn't function so much is because with each element. That's why if you notice with the classical astrologies, they always, so for the sun, for example, it's hot and dry, and the fire signs are hot and dry by nature. So
Yes.
this is again, it goes with it. But for air signs, they are hot and moist. So they have a moist quality. So the moist quality dampens that hot and dry of the sun. So we
Yes.
can also then start to also see when he's also in the air signs, he's not so good also in either of the air signs, either any of them. Right? He's in two of the in one of the air signs he's in fall, in the other one he's in detriment, and with the other one he's peregrine. Sun is peregrine in Gemini. So he doesn't, he loses his quality, he loses that ability to be able to shine and dominate and function to his natural nature as he would when he's in the fire signs, which really complement his nature. So it allows him to shine in the way, in the way possible also as well.
Yes, I think your explanation really reflects my explanation.
Yes.
Just I have tried to say it more from psychological point
Yeah,
of
yeah,
view.
yeah,
You
yeah,
have explained it in purely astrological
yeah.
or
Okay, yeah,
spatial terms.
yeah.
Uh, but anyway, every person, wherever your sun is placed in your chart, you can enforce and strengthen your solar energies. Maybe
Yeah,
we speak now a little about this more energetic and magical
yeah,
apply of this knowledge,
yeah,
because
most definitely.
in the body of human being we have this energy center which is called solar plexus, which is here in the middle of the chest.
Right, yes.
And this is the part of us where we feel the solar energy.
Mm-hmm.
In Kabbalah, this is called Tiferet, one of the 10 Sfirot.
Yeah.
All of you who study Kabbalah as well, you know that there are 10 Sfirot, 10 enumerations in some
Yes.
terms. So the sixth of them, which is Tiferet, the beauty, if to translate this,
Yes.
this is, by the way, sun was also in all ancient mythologies. It was like Apollo, the god of beauty.
Yes.
So it's connected closely to beauty, to art,
Yes. Yeah.
to different beautification of our life.
Yeah.
And I think in when we speak about energy centers of ourselves, it will really correspond to Eastern traditions as well.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
personally use less those Eastern traditions, but I think many of us know them as well. So in yoga, for example, we have 7 chakras. In Kabbalah, when we
Yeah.
speak about human body, we have 5 centers in the middle pillar
Middle
and 3 from the right and 3 from the left.
left.
The
Right.
middle pillar is certainly the most important.
Yeah.
So there we have Tiferet, solar plexus, and all the exercises which strengthen this
Mm-hmm.
center will really attract more solar energy to our
Yeah.
life. How would you describe this plentitude or abundance of solar energy? Let's, for example, focus our attention on somebody who probably have much solar energy. How can we see this person? How can we describe?
We would expect the person to be quite vibrant,
Yeah.
to have a strong sense of identity, a strong sense of self, to be quite confident and quite bold in some kind of way, to have strong leadership qualities, the ability to perhaps stand out, a strong sense of independence, the ability to go forth and not necessarily need anybody to rely on or anything to rely on, to be self-made in some kind of way. Of course, we all need something or someone in our life on some level, but we can see those people who have these very solar, very initiating, self mythologizing kind of qualities that very pioneering very often also sometimes too, and the ability to command the if you want to say the stage or attention, the ability to stand out in some way, whether regardless of what field they are in or what they
Mhm.
do, they are easily spotted. Somebody who has a presence in some kind of way, they know how to create a presence. So even if they walk into a room or they walk into a particular space, it's like they have the ability to attract. Again, just going back to that magnetic or magnetism of the sun. So to be able to attract and to also give out, because if we think of the sun is what is giving out light. It's this big ball of energy which produces life, light, warmth. Without it, it's like when the sun goes down at night and the night comes up, it's everybody, the energies, we can see the energies, how they everything comes down, everything falls, we go to sleep. It's the rest period, so until the next morning when the sun rises up, everybody's up with the sun, everybody's moving with the sun. So there's something about that energy that we will see on a personal level. When somebody is very solar orientated, will be able to see that sun, with that presence, the ability to stand out in some way.
Yes, I think that the central point here is confidence,
Mm,
self-confidence,
mm, mm.
this inner strength that
Yeah.
allows you to be active, to
Mm.
express yourself,
Yeah.
not to be shy, not to
Yeah.
be troubled with
Yeah.
different things. This inner strength gives you the ability to pass easily through different
Yes.
matters,
Yes. Yeah.
even different hardships or dangerous situations even.
Yes. Yeah.
So we can even feel it with ourselves, with our body. If we have lack of solar energy, the weakness will be felt here in the chest.
Yeah. Mm.
Because even if you if you fight somebody, if you will punch him in the chest in this solar plexus, the person
Yes.
can't move several
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Since you was one
A
boxer,
boxer. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Definitely. It's a
so
very.
you know this very well.
Yeah. It's a very. It's almost like when somebody gets punched there,
Mhm.
all the life is knocked out of you.
Yes,
You cannot move, you cannot breathe. I mean, So that says something, again, on that level about the
certainly,
sun. Yes.
certainly. So this solar plexus center is one of the most important things in our life, because
Mm,
if you have active life with much interaction, different business, you need to push things, you need to
mm,
insist on your opinion,
mm.
even despite some resistance, even go against resistance.
Yes.
Then you need much solar
So
energy.
most probably, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
definitely, definitely.
If you have some quiet life somewhere in the countryside and you don't have any troubles, maybe you don't need it so much. But
Yeah, yeah.
if you have active life with much resistance to overcome, then this solar energy will be the most important.
Yeah, yeah. And I
But
think even with people like musicians, for example, or if you ever go to music school, they often train them to sing from that solar plex region, from the lower diaphragm, to bring it up from here. There's something, as opposed to from the chest or from here, bring it up. There's something about a power, a strength,
Mhm.
that some kind of potency that you can tell when somebody's singing. Even sometimes you hear people sometimes when they're describing a certain kind of music or a singer, they say, "Oh, they are singing from the heart." You can feel
We
it.
sing it
Yeah,
from the
yeah, exactly.
heart.
Yeah. So I think there's that, again, that going back to what you said there about the solar plex energy, or the solar energy really coming through. Yeah.
By the way, mythologically, it's also correct, because Apollo, the ancient Greek god of sun, was
Mm.
also singer and musician.
Yeah, yeah, he's the
He's
one who
known,
gave.
yes.
As a matter of fact, if you go in through the mythology, you find that a lot of the attributes which Mercury, especially Mercury and Venus, which they have, they were actually given to them, to from the sun. The sun gave them, he passed those gifts, if you want to say,
Mhm.
on to them. And I think that tells us a lot about um, the qualities even of Mercury and Venus, even, and some of the qualities, how they borrow that from the sun. And it's quite interesting also as well in the chart, as those are the two planets closest to the sun, and they are never too far away from the sun as well. They cannot go for Mercury, of course, it's 27, 28 degrees. For Venus, it's 48 degrees, cannot go beyond that. So there's something there, a closeness there about them to the sun too.
So if you are some artist or musician or singer, you need much solar energy to be in front of
Yeah,
audience. I think
yeah.
even people like us, lecturers, teachers, we also need some solar energy to not to be afraid to stand before the audience.
Yeah, and to speak or
When you
something.
are in
Yeah,
the center of something and many people look at you, you really feel this, you make this usage of solar energy
yeah,
immediately.
yeah. No, it's necessary in all aspects of life. In some aspects more than others, of course, but it's something that again everybody has, because everybody's got a sun sign, but it varies in strengths or intensities, or it takes on different shades, and different manifestations. But you are correct in terms of if you want to do something where you're, whether it's you're standing in front of people or you want to have some kind of a presence, that we do, the stronger the solar energy is, the stronger we are likely going to see that emanating from the person.
Yes, it makes us much closer to success in different things.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So if you want to develop your solar energy with basic practice, you
Mm,
may imagine some energy ball
hmm.
in this place of
Yeah,
solar plexus. Let it be golden in its
yeah.
color because the golden color is the closest
For
to
the
the
sun.
sun.
Yeah,
In all different tables of correspondences in magic books, you will see that golden color is the best
yeah,
for this purpose. And
yes,
this golden ball or circle of light, with each breath, it will spread. It will
yes,
become wider and larger. So
definitely.
you should synchronize it with the breathing.
Yeah,
With each inhale, you attract energy, and with exhale, it gets bigger and stronger and
yeah.
spreads out.
Mm.
So
Through visualization, it's a very,
yes.
yeah.
So the components of the exercise are visualization, the
Hmm.
visual and breathing. And we
Mm.
can also add, if you want to go with divine names from Kabbalah, we can
Hmm.
also concentrate on the main divine name. In
Mm.
Hebrew is written with four letters, Yud,
Hmm.
Hey, Vav, Hey.
Yeah,
It
yes,
has many pronunciations.
yes,
It was the most sacred name in Judaism and early Christianity.
yes,
So this name is the central for this Tiferet center.
yes. Mm.
Um, and also different types of physical exercises
Yeah,
which
yeah,
make those muscles in
yeah.
the upper part of belly
Hmm.
work. It
Hmm.
also strengthens
Yeah.
the
Breathing
soul.
exercises and things like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
with breathing exercises, if you, especially if you work with the diaphragm,
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
it
I mean,
will.
there are so many ways that it can be done. People can use various systems or techniques,
Mhm.
and approaches. Even like you're saying, they're working with the diaphragm. So martial arts, for example, like especially like qigong, they use a lot of, I mean, martial arts as a whole, there is a huge strong focus on breathing and from your diaphragm and from the solar plexus, so to be able to use that. So these are ways as well that can be used. They can People sometimes use colors, so maybe you can incorporate colors like gold, or also perhaps maybe in what you wear. So, so there are various ways. There are perhaps maybe sounds, for those of you who work with music or work with sounds. So you can work with sounds which are more solar, radiating, energetic, dynamic, magnetic in origin, also, as well as the planets also have frequencies and spheres, so that you can use also as well. And there are different affirmations also as well that you can. I know very much, for example, in the Eastern philosophies, or Vedic, they use a lot of a lot of chants. Om, for example, is actually one that can actually is connected with solar energy, and there are others as well. The ancient Egyptians used like Ra and things like that, so connect with solar deities or sun gods in various cultures. So yeah.
Yes, by the way, Ra in Egyptian somehow reminds the Jewish and Kabbalistic attribution of letter Resh in
Yes, yeah,
the
Resh, yes.
alphabet
Yeah.
to the sun.
Yes.
It really differs in different systems of Kabbalah, because it all comes from Sefer Yetzirah, the book of formation, of
Yeah.
creation. But this system, which is the most popular with the Western magicians, which also tarot decks are based on, you
Hmm.
see that the tarot card named the Sun
Yeah, yeah.
responds also to this letter Resh in
Resh, yes, that's correct. Yes. Mm.
Hebrew alphabet. So if you pronounce words which begin from with Resh, especially like you mentioned, Egyptian god
Yeah.
Ra, for
Right.
example,
Yeah.
it's about the same vibration
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
of the sun energy.
Yeah.
Resh is the most vibrant letter,
Vibrant, exactly. Yeah.
especially, by the way, like I'm used to speak in Russian, for example, Reish. When I
Right.
say
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah.
it's the
It's got
most
a
powerful.
roll. It's got a roll on it. Yes,
Yes,
yes.
in English it's much more
Yeah,
smooth.
it's a bit more. Yeah, so yeah.
Yes, so
Yeah.
I make it more powerful. Reish. You may
Yeah,
also
yeah. No, no, definitely,
yes,
definitely.
you may take
Yeah.
example also as well.
Mm.
So if you can say Ra,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
you will
If you
receive
can put the roll on it,
the
yes,
most
yes, yeah.
powerful
Yeah,
result.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
It's a very, I mean, not to even go too much off topic, there's something about, because when you are doing that, you are bouncing the tongue off the top of your, and there are certain methods, even in magic, or way of um, stimulating parts of the pineal gland that
mhm.
require you to put the tongue on the tip of the top of the, and you will be doing that by pronouncing rrr, because it's
Yes,
bouncing against the top of the thing. So
yes, and
yeah,
it
it
makes
can,
this vibration which we
yeah,
speak about, this wave of power.
most definitely.
So the proper pronunciation of the letters and divine names is very crucial for the effectiveness of
Yes,
magical practices.
yes,
Not every one of us practices magic, but if you do, it's a good thing to pay
it's a good
attention.
thing. Yeah, 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 yeah,
And as we said, the colors of the sun, when
yeah,
we use them in clothes or different attributes,
yeah,
is yellow, golden, maybe
yes,
orange sometime.
yes, yeah.
In general, all the
Yeah.
spectrum from yellow to red, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bright colors, essentially, quite
Yes,
colors that are
warm.
quite vibrant and quite bright tend to resonate, or tend to. But
What,
gold or bright yellow kind of.
what they call warm colors,
Yeah, yeah,
more or less, they are all appropriate, but the golden is the best.
yeah, yeah. It's the closest to it that you will get. Yeah.
Yes. And also we can add, if we practice magical rituals, we can add also different other substances. For example, the oil of sunflower.
Yeah, yeah,
It's called sunflower because it
yes,
really reflects sun. If the
yes.
flower itself looks like sun,
Yeah, sunflower. Exactly,
and
exactly.
it also looks towards the sun. You know, this flower,
Yes,
it really changed the direction of the flower.
Flower, yeah. No, you're correct. They always face the sun as well. They grow towards the sun and face the sun. So yeah,
So if our
you're
listeners
correct there.
want to add some other magical substances, the best and the easiest thing to acquire is this oil of sunflower. I think in every country they sell such oil.
Yeah. It may be more accessible in some countries, depending where people are, than others. But yeah, but you're correct. I mean, sunflower oil shouldn't
In my
be.
countries where I lived, we had enough, really much sunflower oil. It
Mm,
was even more frequent than olive oil, for example, or
right. Yeah.
other. So it's the
It's
most.
pretty much worldwide, but I'm just saying, I'm sure some countries will use it more, or maybe have it, or it's more easily accessible than some other places, you know.
Do you know other plants which are corresponding to the nature of the sun, especially?
Yeah, citrus, so oils, so like citronella, so oils which come from like orange or
Lemon,
lemons,
maybe.
yeah, things like that. So there's an oil called citronella, and it's just like a citrus fruits basically, because citrus fruits are all also connected with the sun also as well. So these oils can also be, you can buy them in the shop also as well. I have seen people also use frankincense as well as a oil also that is also solar in nature as well. So yeah, so those are the things that I can point towards in terms of yeah, things that are solar ingredients, if you want to say, whether it's oils, herbs, things like that. Yeah, you know.
So everyone who wants to enhance and strengthen the solar energy of yourself, you can make the whole ritual
Yeah. Oh
using,
yeah.
using clothes of the proper color and incense and oils
Definitely.
and other symbols. Regarding different symbols, for example, you know that to every planet they attribute some magical square with numbers and
Yes.
digits. And as we have said, this Kabbalistic approach,
Mm.
speaking of spiratic ferret, which is number
Yes.
6, that's why this magical square of sun is also based on 6.
And six. Right.
Yes,
Yes.
there is a really wonderful thing because Christians think that the number 666 is something of
Of
devil.
the devil. Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
Mm.
Alistair Crowley has written a lot about it, but in
Yeah. Yeah.
Astrology and Magic, it's just the sum of all the digits in this magical square of the sun.
Of the sun. Yeah. 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 They have different. I mean, it's to do with. I mean, there's various interpretations again, although the 666 tends to be more dominantly looked as a bit of a negative thing in
Yes.
some Christology, theology, if you want to say, or teachings. But there are debates that because the vision that the person saw where it said 666, it was upside down. So actually it was 999. And there are all these kinds of but it also as well there's another understanding that suggests that 666 is actually the it's the base number for carbon. So six protons, six electrons, and six neutrons make the base of the human body. So it's actually that's why they refer to it. It's the number of the beast.
Well, that's a very sophisticated explanation.
Yeah. Because 666, so they say the six, because that's why even in Christianity they say they refer to 666 as the number of the beast. And apparently it's a bit of a misinterpretation because when they say beast is something that the ancients used to use to describe the earthly realm. They would say the beastly realm, the earthly realm. But we tend to use that word now as beast as something negative for something destructive or evil or in that sense. So but apparently it's meant to be the number of the physical form, the physicality of man.
Well,
So I mean,
returning to those magical squares, really this number of 666 is really attributed to the evil or dark side of the planetary spirits, which is called Sorat.
Sorat, yes,
In
yes.
yeah, this name really gives us this 666.
66, yeah.
Yes, Sorat is Samech Vav Reish Taf in Hebrew.
Yeah.
But the good side of the planetary spirits, the good spirit is Nahiel, which
Right.
is 111.
11, yes.
The sum of all the numbers on one line or one column
Or
of
column, yeah,
square.
yeah, whether it's going diagonally or, yeah, that's good.
So we can really invoke those spirits when we need more of the solar energy.
Yeah.
I believe that Nahiel is more about light and shining and being good and beautiful to everyone. And
Yes.
Salat maybe is more about impulse and passion, maybe,
Yeah.
which can eventually lead to something bad if you don't control it.
Right.
But
Yeah, of course.
then,
Of course. Of
then
course.
you can really go with this drive to to handle some
So
problems.
yeah, 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 to enhance
Because
something.
every potentially negative power can be turned to be positive with our self-control, with
Yes.
our commitment to some good goal
Right, yeah.
to which we take it. So those are two spirits of the magical square of the sun, Nahiel,
Yes.
Surat. And what do you think about angels? What angel is particularly close to the energies of sun?
With the so for the sun, I don't know. Not Mikhail. Mikhail would be more Martian, for me. I'm not too sure in terms of the angels, which would be more solar.
In
Maybe
magic books, they generally say either Michael or
Mikhail. Uh,
either Michael or Raphael.
Yeah,
Changed sometimes.
it changes sometimes. Yeah, because
I think both of them have also some Mercurian energy as
yeah,
well.
well, that's what. Yeah, yeah. Well, Mikhail tends to have a bit of, or can have a bit of a Martian energy.
I
Uh,
think that it's also only Christian image of Michael being some warrior with a
Yeah, 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 because he has the sword. Yeah. So coming from, again, it depends from which school of thought or which philosophy or doctrine you are following. I think they change. But of the Christians, obviously, they would have got it from their predecessors, which would have been the Jews or the Hebrews. But it probably just slightly changed. But yeah, Michael is always seen with the sword. He's always seen as the even in Christian, when anytime they have sent a an angel to go to war, it tends to be Michael. Whereas Raphael is more, because he's connected with the winds, Raphael, and he's more airy, which is more mercurial. I find Raphael to be more mercurial, or
but I can
Michael to be more
say
Martian. But
that in Jewish tradition, for example, and in Kabbalah, you will probably never find Michael with sword.
no, 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 no. I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Purely
Yeah,
Christian,
yeah, Chris.
purely
Yeah,
Christian,
yeah.
maybe purely Catholic
So
tradition.
yeah, 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 Christian
Uh,
influence. Yeah.
from Kabbalistic point of view, Michael is really more of the water element than fire,
Mm.
because in Zohar, for example, one of the main Kabbalistic books, we see it explicitly that Michael belongs to water.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Mm.
also the first letter of his name, which is Mem, is
Mac,
also water.
water. Yeah. Yeah. Mem. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
So I once explained the position of angels in the ritual of pentagram, where Michael is in the south and
Hmm.
connected to the fire element. I once
Right.
explained it as some sort of compensation that you need to place water exactly where fire burns.
Right. Okay.
Because all the control and using the energies begins with opposing some energy to what is dominant.
Dominant. Right. Yeah.
Yes, if you can't cool the fire, you will never master or control this fire.
Mm.
So from this logic, Michael, who is the water angel, might be placed in the south,
in the
in
south.
the direction of the heat and fire.
Yeah, yeah, that's yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But still,
Mm.
it remains to be the main solar angel, and maybe that's why most of religious traditions try to say that they are with this angel, like it's their angel. In Judaism,
Mm.
they think that Michael is some protector of the Jewish people.
Jewish people, yeah, yeah,
In
yeah, yeah.
Christianity, they also say that Michael is their angel. It's like some sort of savior or protector of the.
Yeah, yeah. He's the slayer. He's like the slayer over, if you want to say, demons or negative things. So he's the one. He because he's a warrior. He's the protector also as well, which has that kind of Martian, which is Martian essentially when you look at it in some way. But there is a. It's fair to say that there is also a solar kind of principle about him also as well, even in the Christian, because the Christians took on a lot of solar identity, and that's why the holy day of the week is on a Sunday and things like that. So they took on a lot of solar orientated concepts as well. So yeah, Mikhail, of course, being one of them. He tends to be the main angel that you hear about.
Yes.
The other angels, Raphael, you don't really hear about in Christianity at all. You hear of Gabriel. Again, Gabriel is a kind of a mercurial. Very often, when you read the Christian scriptures, Gabriel tends to come up anytime when God is sending a message to a prophet or something. You see Gabriel coming up a lot. So there
We
seems to
shall
be a
speak about him in our next dialogues regarding to other planets because
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have much to say about Gabriel.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
what I can.
Gabriel seems to be connected either with Moon or Mercury. He seems to have this kind of a little bit of
I will
energy
try
to
to
him.
prove though that he is connected to Mars, especially because Gabriel is from the word Gvura, which is force or
But
strength.
before, so yeah, yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, like I'm just telling you from the Christian doctrine, this is how there is nothing warlike associated with Gabriel. You see him anytime God is wanting to give a message to a prophet, send an angel to give a message, it's Gabriel. But
We
anytime
shall
there is war, it's it's Michael
we
from the
shall be
Christian. But
We shall
again,
discuss it then, but because I think there is much to say here, much to explore about those
yeah,
roles.
yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely. There's so many. Again, there are different influences, different philosophies over the years. Whether it's Babylonian, Chaldean, Judaic, Christian, Islamic. There are so many. You know, as we know, especially in that part of the world, over the years, there has been so much different kind of overlaps or overlayers or hybrids, if you want to say, where they have combined also as well, mixed doctrines or information. So sometimes you get these different things. But if you really start to really read the attributes or read their cosmology or stories, then you can kind of really see where it's coming from.
All right, so we have spoken much about sun today.
Yeah.
Maybe we shall continue next time with other
Yeah, we can
things.
look at another planet. There, there's so much to be discussed and
Yes,
to
so we shall
be
dedicate a few next dialogues to Moon, Mercury,
yeah,
Venus, and
yeah,
other
yeah.
planets.
No problem.
All right, so let's say goodbye for now to our
Yes,
listeners.
yes. Thank you very much, and yeah, be sure to follow and
Next time.
send a message if anything we have said is maybe there's something you wanted to know more about. Just let us know. Yeah.
Yes, we can explain more if you ask.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Till next time, people.